Hey everybody, my name is Steven and welcome back to the Storytime channel. Without wasting any time, let's get into our stories of the day. Customer demands wrong ticket and pays for it. This happened during some time when the Powerball had a fairly high jackpot. Nothing crazy, but higher than normal. Some info on the lottery for those unaware. You can fill out a sheet with your numbers and have multiple sets of numbers you pay $2 to $3 for each set on a ticket. This is ran through a machine and a receipt is printed. At that point, the store is charged for the entry, so the customer needs to pay for it. You can choose to have the same numbers run for more drawings after. You just check a box for how many drawings you want. If you run a ticket through the machine twice, it just makes a duplicate for the same drawing. So I guess if you win twice as much, excluding the jackpot. But not really something anyone would do. This woman, not really a Karen, but let's call her that, came in with a thick wad of cash and a pre-filled ticket. I greet her and she just drops the ticket on the counter without replying. I need this put through the machine 20 times. I look down at the ticket. 5 sets of numbers, all with power play. One drawing of this costs $15, so if she wanted to draw for the next 20 drawings, it would cost $300. But what she said is she wanted the same ticket 20 times, all for the next drawing. Same price, but not what people normally want. Okay, did you mean you wanted this to run for the next 20 drawings? No, I said I want you to put this in the machine 20 times so I have 20 individual tickets. So you want this all to draw at the same time? Yes, that's what I said. Okay, I just want to be sure that's what you want. So these will all be duplicate tickets, all drawing on Friday. Can't remember when the actual drawing was. So I take the ticket and run it through. Out pops the confirmation ticket and receipt. I look up and she just says, "Yep, keep putting it through." I do this a few more times and just ask, "Okay, again, you're sure this is what you want?" They will all draw on Friday only. Karen just sighed and confirmed yes. I kept going and sometime after the 12th or 13th one, she says, "So do I just keep these for all the drawings after Friday?" Me stopped feeding the ticket into the machine. No, these will all draw on Friday only and be done, just like you requested. Again, do you mean you want them to run on every drawing afterwards? Karen, now confused. Yes. Okay, that's why I was asking so many times. These will not do that. They will draw once and be done. Karen starts saying, well, that's not what she meant, and she doesn't want the ones I already printed off and says, who would want that? Exactly why I asked you so many times. I'm sorry, but you need to buy these as there is no way we will be able to sell them. No, I won't. I want the ones I asked for. She was starting to get upset, and at this point, our awesome assistant manager, who was nearby, stepped in. Excuse me, ma'am, but I heard our employee ask you several times before he started, and he even explained the difference to you. We cannot sell the tickets printed out, which he only did after you repeatedly stated that's how you wanted them done. Karen started to look like she was going to bolt out the door at this point, so assistant manager added, and if you don't, we'll have to treat it as theft and call the cops. Karen finally relented and bought the tickets. She then used the remainder of her money to buy the tickets how she intended to, just not as many draws. She left without another word. She honestly wasn't that bad, but she did have some attitude like she knew everything. Still, I hope at least one of her numbers won on that first drawing, so she'd get back most of what she spent. So let's say you're in OP shoes. They confirm that they want these tickets printed 20 times, all for the same day. You get to around the 13th one, and then she clarifies, no, she wanted it spread out over 20 days. How would you respond in that moment? Let me know in the comments below. And also a special thanks to OP for shouting us out in the bottom of this post. Thanks for workers' compensation. So 4 years ago, I was 2 years removed from the army, young and dumb, going to school and working part-time at a grocery store between dairy and frozen food, breaking down trucks and produce depending on who needed help. But mainly I was breaking down the truck during this time. Product X goes on to aisle Y, so stockers have easier time. Well, one small truck day, I finished about 2 hours earlier than usual, and not wanting to lose hours, asked what I could do. My assistant manager has a bright idea to clean out a storage closet to make a break room, even though we already had one. So he's removing boxes and boxes of unused price tags, easily 70 to 90 pounds each, and he wants them brought down 2 flights of stairs, totaling about 20 stairs. Before I went into and during my time in the army, this was no problem. But now my knees are shot and my back has issues. I tried to inform him of the 2-person lift policy the company had, but he told me, "You're young, you got this," or some dismissive lazy comment similar. I tried again but was dismissed away. Well, on my second load, I was going down the stairs and my knee buckled. Tried to reestablish control, and my knee gave completely out. Extremely sprained knee. No idea of the terminology here, sorry. He then tried to play it off as me faking it to avoid doing an incident report, even though my leg swelled to double its size in 5 minutes. He didn't even fill out one until the next day, after I again maliciously complied to coming in the next day at store manager's request, and him telling an extravagant lie about me faking it, with a brace and crutches I had from previous same knee injury in the army. After they took pictures of my knee and my statement, I could hear him being yelled at from the store entrance. He was at another store when I came back from workers' compensation 2 months later, and was allegedly in deep water with the company. When somebody has a medical concern, I would just hope in more situations managers would actually consider that. If it's change you want, it's change you shall get. Not sure if I'm allowed to name companies, so I'll just say that I've been working for one of Canada's most popular, if not most well-known, fast food chains for a little under a year. I've never really had too many problems with customers, and if someone is rude to me, I usually don't care and just let them say what they want and get rid of them ASAP. But this one was the first one I've dealt with that was just trying to be malicious. So the customer comes through the drive-thru and tries to pay with a bill that's basically ripped in half and is attached by less than half a centimeter. The company policy is we can't accept it, so I apologize and tell him I can't accept it. He didn't seem upset at all and says it's cool and hands me a 10. So everything is good. I hand him his drinks and a toonie, $2 for change. It's not good enough. I didn't understand and asked him what he meant, and he said he wanted it all in nickels, 5 cents. Because he seemed so chill when I told him I couldn't take the money, I was cool with getting the coins. Nickels come in packages of $2 in the till, and I just replaced it before he came in, so I know there's exactly $2 in the nickel area, but I still quickly counted out in front of him, partly because I wanted to speed things up so he wouldn't count it himself, but also because I thought he might have been freaking with me and wanted him to think he was making me do work, and I hand him $2 in nickels. It's not good enough. Okay, he's freaking with me. He asks for a toonie instead. I tell him sorry, we don't have any toonies, which we both know is a lie because I already tried to hand him one, but I still insist there's no toonie because screw this guy, he asked for this. After a bit of back and forth, he has decided he no longer wants his drinks and requests a refund. So I take his drinks back and give him his $10 back, but there's a problem. Somehow our entire store is out of any currency other than dimes, which conveniently for me are stored in packs of $5. So I open 2 packs of dimes and hand him all 100 of his coins, and he drives off with no drinks, no $10 bill, and is up 100 dimes and what looked like a very embarrassed girlfriend in the passenger seat. It's kind of irrelevant to the story, but as an American, I appreciate that Canada calls their $2 bills toonies. I think that's just kind of adorable. Can't use a shovel to pick up landscaping rocks? Okay. Just after high school, I worked at a local grocery store. One of the managers was a pain to work for. Like, even the groceries had to be bagged a certain way or we would get in trouble. A wall full of info and notification, and she would say, "Hey, did you see the flyer on the wall by the time clock?" "No, which one?" "I cannot believe all of you are such bad employees and haven't read XYZ. "Oh yeah, I wasn't sure which flyer you were talking about since there are a lot there." One night, she asked me to go straighten up the rocks around the trees in the parking lot. I asked if I could use a shovel or something, and she said no. It wasn't that hard. I could use my hands, assuming it would take 20 minutes. Okay, I went and picked up every single rock I could find in the parking lot and customers kept asking why I wasn't using a shovel. I said, I'm not allowed. I have to do it by hand. 2 hours later, she came out looking for me. She said, OP, why are you out here so long? Picking up the rocks by hand like you asked. She had the nerve to look at me and say, why didn't you use a shovel? I was just doing what she told me to do. I don't remember her bothering me as much after that. Also at the new store, they put mulch down and have someone go out and sweep it up. I just saw an employee doing that and it reminded me of this story. Update, I wasn't purposely being malicious at the time. They were more like pebbles and small stones that were used around trees next to where cars parked. So people were always walking over them to go in and out of their cars. This was in the middle of a Midwest muggy 90 degrees evening in my full uniform, long sleeve button up and slacks. If somebody wants to use a shovel for stuff that, can use a shovel, why couldn't they? Why punish them to pick these pebbles up by hand? I don't get that. Surprise me. I currently live with my mother, and trying to be a decent son for putting up with me for so long, I often ask if she wants me to bring her up anything to eat, snacks or desserts or whatnot. Now, when asking someone if they want anything, the most frustrating thing to me, and a lot of people I imagine, is surprise me. My mother, as sweet as she is horrible with this. I'll even give her options and she'll just go, oh, I don't know, surprise me. So I started doing just that. I started bringing up various random objects to her. Some of my favorites are as follows. I once asked if she wanted regular or golden Oreos. She couldn't decide, so I broke some of each in half and she got half and half Oreos, a bottle of Febreze, a dog toy, half a donut as I was eating the other half, her left snow boot when she left them downstairs, and an empty paper towel. Now I know these are petty and don't mean much, but that's the point. It's just me being a smart butt to my mother when she can't make up her mind. To her credit, since I started these shenanigans, she has said surprise me far less often than she used to. Anyway, these are just some small moments that have kept me entertained during quarantine. I hope you guys enjoy them as much as I do. I kind of get it from both sides. I get the frustration when somebody says surprise me and you don't know what to get for them, but at the same time, I also understand somebody asking you for something and you say, I don't know, or surprise me, because you're just not sure. How not to do online learning. Due to the lockdown, my younger brother is stuck at home learning virtually. He was sent a PDF file and was instructed to correct the grammatical errors. Obviously, the teacher wanted him to rewrite the document by hand while fixing the errors as he went. What he decided to do was open the file as a Word document and started right-clicking on all the underlined mistakes, then letting the computer correct it. Genius. This man right here is living in the future. To be fair, I don't know what the teacher could have expected. Maybe what they could have done if they were technologically capable was to provide it as an image, so you can't just open it in any kind of word editor and just start fixing it up. You have to actually type it back out or try and rely on some kind of transcriber, which isn't necessarily perfect. But with that being said, that's all the stories we have for today. So what I want to know is which of these stories that was read to you today is your personal favorite and why? Let me know your thoughts and comments on these things in the comments down below. And thank you all so very much for watching and listening to the Storytime channel today. If you haven't yet, please consider subscribing and don't forget to turn notifications on for this channel so you'll never miss an upcoming video from us. Thank you all again for watching and listening to the Storytime channel.